Are you familiar with chronic inflammation? Do you know what that means? Do you know why you should be concerned about what that means? Are you familiar with what an anti-inflammatory diet is? Do you know what the benefits of an anti-inflammatory may be, and they can help you to live a much healthier life? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Tom Neblett with 4 Points Family Chiropractic, and I want to welcome you to our monthly Living to 100 webinar series. Each month, we bring a different health-related topic to you and share important information with you to help you and your family achieve optimal health and wellness. This month, I'm going to be discussing the benefits of an anti-inflammatory diet, as well as reviewing foods and strategies to help you live an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. I'm also going to show you an easy way that you can check yourself to find out if the diet you're eating is creating inflammation or cleaning up inflammation, and whether you may be eating in a way that's going to cause you to have other problems down the road. Before I get into that, though, I want to mention that our office is located in Northwest Austin off of 2222 at the entrance to the River Place subdivision. If you're have been considering seeing a chiropractor or have health concerns you'd like to talk to one of us about, either for yourself or somebody else, I'm going to be offering a very special discount later on in today's webinar. So stay tuned and I'll share that information later. We can help you get in here and get things checked out for you. But first, what is inflammation? All right, acute inflammation is your body's response to an irritant, like an injury, a germ, a virus, or a foreign object like a splinter. It's a part of your body's natural, healthy immune response, and it's good. Chronic inflammation, however, is a different animal. Chronic inflammation is a slow, long-term inflammatory response that can last months, even years. It can result from an unresolved previous acute inflammation. It can result from autoimmune diseases, but I'll tell you, most commonly, it comes directly from our diet, what we're eating and not eating. Chronic inflammatory diseases are the most significant causes of death in the world, according to the World Health Organization. Chronic inflammation is associated with and causative when it comes to diseases like diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, stroke, COPD, Alzheimer's disease, allergies, asthma, and arthritis, and more. Worldwide, 3 out of 5 deaths occur as a direct result of chronic inflammatory diseases, and many more people have their quality of life significantly reduced as a result of chronic inflammation and the diseases caused by chronic inflammation. So that's why you should be concerned about it. Now, one of the main benefits of an anti-inflammatory diet is to reduce or eliminate internal systemic chronic inflammation and to help improve the quantity and the quality of the life of somebody eating an anti-inflammatory diet. There are many other benefits to eating an anti-inflammatory diet. The reduction or elimination of pain. Obviously, less inflammation equals less pain. The reduction in the likelihood of you getting sick because your immune system tends to improve. Increased energy and focus, and better sleep, to name a few. Most people will also experience weight loss, in some cases significant weight loss, as a benefit and a result of eating an anti-inflammatory diet as well. One of the causes of developing inflammation is carrying too much weight, being either overweight or obese, so that's important as well. So what is an anti-inflammatory diet? Well, the simple statement is this. An anti-inflammatory diet utilizes whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods to help improve your quality of life. So in other words, whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods are fruits, vegetables, meats that have had very little processing, all right? And that they're not processed foods, fast foods, sugary foods. And I'm going to talk more about those things here in just a little bit. An anti-inflammatory diet, sorry about that, is actually more of a lifestyle than a diet. And I say this because maintaining activity is an important part of reducing chronic inflammation. And a sedentary lifestyle is one of the causes of inflammation. Okay? So if you're going to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, what exactly does that look like? In our office, we talk a lot about a program called the MyPlate program. All right, this is a picture, and this is the logo from the MyPlate program, and it's all laid out in the picture what's involved. in the MyPlate program. Now, if you go to choosemyplate.gov, this is backwards when I'm holding it. That's the website, and when you go to that website, not only does it have the details of the diet, but it has recipes, it has meal plans, it has shopping lists, it has everything you could possibly need to implement this particular diet. All right, so this is an excellent anti-inflammatory diet. But there's another program I like even more, and it's called the Harvard Healthy Eating Plate. You'll notice they look very similar. Now, the Harvard Healthy Eating Plate also has a website. You can Google Harvard Healthy Eating Plate, and it will take it to you, or the link to it, if I can get that up there for you, is right there. If you have a pen and pencil, you can write that down. HSPH, harvard.edu/nutrition source. The other link's a lot easier to remember, but again, you can Google Harvard Healthy Eating Plate, and it'll take you to this program. Now, what these programs have in common, both programs are anti-inflammatory. Both of them recommend you eat half of your calories from whole foods, vegetables and fruits, and that you eat twice as many vegetables as you eat fruits. All right? An excellent choice to build your vegetable repertoire off of are dark green leafy vegetables, kale, collard greens, spinach. Reason being, those are powerful alkalizers, and the more alkaline your diet, the more anti-inflammatory it's going to be. Now, just so you're aware, potatoes don't count as anti-inflammatory vegetables. In fact, they're inflammatory, but sweet potatoes are anti-inflammatory. So if you're looking for a starch to eat as one of your vegetables, always choose sweet potatoes. Fruits, especially berries, are also important parts of an anti-inflammatory diet. Berries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, elderberries, raspberries, include a very powerful antioxidant compound called proanthocyanidin. You don't have to remember that. Just know it is an antioxidant compound, meaning it cleans up the damage caused by free radicals in your diet. Free radicals tear up your insides and create inflammation. So anything we can do to reduce that damage also reduces inflammation. Fruits and vegetables are also rich in fiber, which helps to remove inflammation from our bodies. Fruits and vegetables when we choose our fruits and vegetables, number one, we want to choose organic whenever possible, and we want to choose a wide variety. The more variety, the more different compounds you're going to be getting that will benefit you. When you look at your plate, ideally, you've heard this before, you want to see a rainbow of colors from your fruits and vegetables. Those colors are different phytonutrients that also help to fight inflammation, so that's why it's important to do that. Now, one thing to be aware of, there are some vegetables are what are called GMO or genetically modified. That modification does nothing to improve the nutrient density. It's improving shelf life, and in doing that, they're stripping out some of the nutrients. A lot of people have problems with GMO foods. So the most common GMO vegetables are corns, soybeans, and canola, which is used to manufacture canola oil. So if you are choosing one of those things, make sure they're labeled as a non-GMO to get the best benefit from it. Now, you'll notice also on the other half of the diet, half of your calories should come from a mixture of whole grains and healthy proteins. Now, whole grains are important. All right, they're excellent sources of fiber, number one. They're also excellent sources of B vitamins and vitamin E. This is whole grains we're talking about, not processed grains. And they include antioxidant phytochemicals, so once again, reversing some of the effects of free radicals. One thing to be aware of when it comes to whole grains, some people have problems with gluten. I'm sure if you're one of those people, you know who you are. Some people are sensitive to it. They have allergic responses, and some people have celiac. If that's the case and you want to avoid wheat, barley, and rye, those are going to be big sources of gluten. But there are other whole grains you can substitute and not be affected the same way. And those are grains like quinoa, amaranth, millet, brown rice, whole oats, and wild rice. All right, so these are better choices for gluten-sensitive people, but they're also excellent sources for those of us who don't have a problem with gluten. Now, when it comes to protein, there we go, got that the first time. An excellent source of protein is to go with fatty, fresh-caught fish, like salmon, tuna, and mackerel. The reason for that is they're excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids. I'm sure we've all heard of omega-3 fatty acids by now, but what those are is they're essential fatty acids, meaning our body needs them, and the only way we get them is through our foods. And the fish that I mentioned are excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, that's not necessarily the case with farmed fish, so make sure you're getting fresh caught fish. And again, one of the main reasons that omega-3 fatty acids are so good is they're also excellent anti-inflammatory compounds as well. Now, you can go with lean proteins like poultry, chicken, and turkey. You just want to make sure you're choosing organic, free-range, grass-fed options, and not going with corporately farmed, because they're going to tend to be more pro-inflammatory. When it comes to red meats, you need to make sure that you're limiting or not even eating red meats, because they're high in saturated fats, which are inflammatory. So if you are eating them, make sure you limit those. You can also go with plant sources for protein. Beans, legumes, and lentils are excellent sources, as well as tofu. One of the benefits of going with a plant source of your protein is that those are also going to be anti-inflammatory, or tend to be more anti-inflammatory. So those are good sources when it comes to protein. Now, before I go further and talk about things that you need to eliminate from your diet, I want to talk about the special invitation I mentioned before. If you're sitting there and you're struggling with some kind of a health issue, whether it's a dietary issue or whether it's some kind of a pain syndrome, neck pain, back pain, headache, sciatica, disc problems, whatever, you or one of your loved ones, and you've considered checking out chiropractic before but haven't done it, we have a special offer for you for watching our webinar today. If you'll call our office, 512-345-9355, and mention the code word anti-inflammatory, what we'll do is we'll schedule a special appointment to meet with you with one of our doctors, and we're going to do a very in-depth consultation, history, examination, including any necessary x-rays, and then we're going to follow that appointment up with another appointment where we'll review the results with you, and if we find we can help you with your health issue, then we're going to tailor a customized treatment plan to help you reach your goals. We normally charge $348 for those services. If you'll call and mention the term anti-inflammatory, we'll do that for you for just $97. So that's a great way to come in and get checked out and find out if we can help you. All right? Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. I mentioned previously reasons I like the Harvard Healthy Eating Plate. This is some of the differences from the MyPlate program. The other things are the same as the MyPlate program. One is the Harvard Healthy Eating Plate also talks about what we drink. Your best option when it comes to healthy anti-inflammatory diet is to drink pure water or spring water. All right, water is cleansing, water tends to be alkalizing, and it's always your best choice when it comes to what to drink. But the Harvard program also represents coffee or tea as an option, provided you're not adding sugar or dairy. The reason being is because they have antioxidant compounds in them, especially green tea. So they're also cleaning up the free radical damage, which makes them anti-inflammatory as well. Dairy, on the other hand, needs to be avoided or at least very limited. Dairy has a lot of saturated fat in it. Dairy also tends to be pro-inflammatory, and a lot of people have trouble with dairy. So we recommend other sources. If you like milk on your cereal, whatever, there are alt milk sources, almond milk, etc., coconut milk, that are better choices than dairy to do those with. Another thing on this program, not on the MyPlate program, is they recommend eating healthy oils. Healthy oils include oils like extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. All of these oils are anti-inflammatory, but they have many other health benefits as well. For one thing, they improve heart health by lowering your LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol. They improve brain function, they improve your digestive health, and they also reduce your risk for cancer. Other excellent sources for healthy oils include nuts and nut oils, especially nuts like walnuts, Brazil nuts, and almonds, and also avocados. Those are also excellent sources of healthy fats. One of the things about eating healthy fats is it stimulates your body to burn more fat, so that's a good thing. But you need to be aware that when you're eating fats, large amounts of fats in your diet, they do have twice the caloric impact. You've got more than twice as many calories per gram with fats than you do with carbohydrates and proteins. So if you're eating a high-fat diet, you're also eating a high-calorie diet. So just things to be aware of. Now, one thing that's not listed in here, but to be aware of, is you can also improve the anti-inflammatory aspect of your diet through herbs and spices. Many of the herbs and spices we put in our food are anti-inflammatory, and those are going to be spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, black pepper, cardamom, and cinnamon. All right, all these are very beneficial to your health and anti-inflammatory. Sugar needs to be avoided. Sugar's got lots of bad impacts on our body. It does a lot of damage to our body, and it's very pro-inflammatory. Artificial sweeteners, same thing. They also tend to be inflammatory as well. So if you need to sweeten your food or your drink, better options are going to be stevia, coconut sugar, dates or date sugar, or fruits. Much better options when it comes to eating a healthier diet and reducing inflammation. The last thing that's on this plate that I want to point out is it also includes staying active as part of an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. As I mentioned before, a sedentary lifestyle causes inflammation. So you want to make sure that you are staying active. In our office, we recommend that you get 20 to 30 minutes of a low-impact aerobic activity on a daily basis, if at all possible. And it's a good idea to try to get 3 to 5 weight-resistant sessions in a week as well. These are all things that we discuss with our patients when you come in to see us. If you have other questions about that, we're happy to discuss it with you at a later time. Now, there's also foods that we need to avoid. All right, I mentioned it briefly before, but these foods are all pro-inflammatory, or in other words, they increase inflammation in your body. They include processed and packaged foods, fast foods, sugary foods, refined carbohydrates like pasta and white breads, trans fats, saturated fats, sugary beverages, alcohol. In other words, everything in the middle of the grocery store. All right, all those aisles contain pro-inflammatory foods, and you need to be very careful. You need to look at your nutrition labels and make sure you're limiting the impact that those foods are having on your health. One last thing I want to mention before I move on, and that's nightshade vegetables. Some people have inflammatory responses to tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. Gout responds negatively to those. If you notice that your joints swell after eating those vegetables, or you have a histamine response, have lots of produce of mucus, then you're having an inflammatory response, and you want to take those vegetables out of your diet as well. All right, I've covered a lot of ground today. All right, I think it's important that we know, what our diet is doing to us. One of the ways you can measure how well your body's reacting to your diet, whether or not you might be producing inflammation, is to check your pH. Our body functions best and cleans up inflammation when we're operating with a slightly alkaline pH between 7 and 7.5 on the pH scale. All right, again, that's mildly alkaline. When we fall below 7, then we've moved into the acidic range. If we have an acidic pH, that means we are producing inflammation, which can lead us down a path towards some of the serious diseases that I mentioned earlier. So it needs to be addressed, and addressed early before it creates bigger problems. So the way you can find out for yourself what's going on with your diet is you can purchase a pack of pH strips. You can get these at any drugstore. They have them on Amazon.com. These are in our office. We also provide them for our patients if you'd like to check that. You want to do a sublingual test first thing in the morning. Either stick a strip under your tongue, or you can spit into a cup and drop the strip into your spit, your saliva, for about 10 seconds. Give it a few seconds to rest, and then you want to compare it to this scale. You need it to fall between 7 and 7.5. That's healthy. If you're below 7, that means you're acidic, and that means you need to take some action and clean things up before they become a bigger problem. Now, one of the ways you can do that is go to one of the programs that I mentioned, either the MyPlate program, choosemyplate.gov, or the Harvard Healthy Eating Program was the other one I shared with you. Both of those, if you'll make those modifications, you'll begin to move into an alkaline range. The main changes that are going to be involved: increasing your vegetable intake, drinking more water, getting rid of processed and sugary foods. Those by themselves will move you in the right direction. If you do need more help, you're also welcome to email me at Dr. Neblett, DrNeblett at fourpointschiropractic.com. I'm happy to answer any questions. I can send you the links to those websites. I can also send you food lists if you're interested in anti-inflammatory foods that you can add to your diet. Those are all things that I'll do for you if you just email me at that address and tell me what you're interested in. Now, some of you may be more interested in having a face-to-face consultation with one of the doctors to sit down and talk about your dietary concerns or any other health concerns. If that's you, as I mentioned before, call our office, 512-345-9355. Mention the buzzword anti-inflammatory. We'll schedule that initial appointment. We'll discuss whatever concerns you might have, do a very thorough history history, consultation, examination, x-rays as needed, and then follow up with you with an appointment to review those findings and then discuss how we can help you and help set up a customized treatment plan to help you reach your health goals. How does that sound? We'll do that for just $97 if you mention anti-inflammatory. Normal price for that's $348. So that's $250 savings. Or an even easier way, go to our website, fourpointschiropractic.com. Click on the request an appointment tab on there. Put the word anti-inflammatory in the doctor's notes. We'll contact you, get that all set up for you. You can do the same thing going through our website if that's easier for you. Now, I want to thank you for joining me today. All right. I hope you found today's information helpful. If you're interested in improving your health, on our website, fourpointschiropractic.com, top right corner, there's a More tab. Click it, drop down menu, choose Watch a Workshop. We have a library there of 2 or 3 dozen of these types of webinars with different health-related tips, strategies, ways to help you achieve optimal health. They're there at no charge to you. It's an easy way that you can stay on top of things to help you and your family be healthy. Immediately following today's webinar, this webinar will be added there. So if you know somebody that needs this information or some of the other information that we list there, feel free to send them to the website and they can take advantage of that as well. Next month, Dr. Mary, on May the 10th, is going to bring a special webinar on strategies to get a better night's sleep. So if you know you're struggling with your sleep, you're sleep deprived, you can't sleep the whole night through, please tune in. The information she's going to share will help change your life. That's our goal with that. So check in with us next week for tips on sleep. Easiest way to do that, if you go to our Facebook site and like us, we'll send you an invitation ahead of time. Just follow us on Facebook and then you'll get invited to our webinars. If you're not on Facebook, you can find these things in our website or they're also available through our YouTube channel. So there's a lot of different ways to find these things. So that's it. That's all for today. Again, I'm Dr. Tom Neblett, and on behalf of the doctors and staff of 4 Points Family Chiropractic, where we're teaching you a better way to better health, we want to wish you a happy and healthy day. Until we meet again, take care.